I am pastor and author Robert B. Scott of freedomchurchofgod.com. And actually in Freedom Church of God today, this is Sunday, the day of Pentecost, and we just heard a very powerful sermon. We saw a lot of bad things that are going to be happening in the world because believers have neglected the power they've been given. But it's not too late. We learned from our Apostle Gerald that there is a meaning to the law of God that has been lost. Remember the Bible says in Matthew 5, in the Beatitudes, it says, those who hunger and thirst for righteousness shall be filled. What we learned today was, did you know that you cannot hunger and thirst for righteousness if you don't know the law of God? We see a very powerful movement now, and I've seen it for 40 years. I've seen this resistance to the law of God. When I began keeping the Sabbath day, they would say, oh, that law is done away. No, but they didn't want to, they wanted to keep all the other 9 laws. But it was that 4th commandment that, oh, we got to get rid of the law because then we have to keep the Sabbath. And that's Jewish. Well, that's a bunch of poppycock. That is totally wrong. The Bible does say, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. He gives 10 commandments, not 9, but 10. And so why would we get rid of the law? You're seeing a movement today. There was one preacher that just recently said, and it really shocked me because I could see where he was going. It was so subtle until he said, Colossians 2:14 means this, that the karagraphon, which is the word in Greek, which means the IOU, or the debt of sin that we owe Jesus, that he paid for. That's what was nailed to the cross. But he said the 10 commandments were nailed to the cross. And I thought, oh no, how can you say this? I see where all of your subtle deception is coming now. Now we see the truth of it. We see what's happening. The Bible says there will be lawlessness abounding in the end time. We see preachers now teaching lawlessness. The 10 commandments were nailed to the cross. So we don't have to keep the Sabbath day. And the reason that they don't understand it is they haven't kept the Sabbath day. They haven't remembered the day Jesus said was holy. Today we kept an annual holy day, which is Pentecost, the first day, Feast of First Fruits. And so we understood from the sermon today that unless you have the law, you cannot hunger and thirst for righteousness. Because what is the criteria of righteousness? It's the law. The law is the standard. The law is not bad. Paul said it was good. It was righteous. It was holy. Why do people want to denigrate the 10 commandments and especially the Sabbath day? Why do they want to call the law bad and grace good? Grace, as we'll learn on this series on freedomtruthseekers.com, grace is the empowerment to keep that wonderful law of God that brings us blessings. What could be wrong about the law? David loved God's law, all his statutes, all his commandments. Why can't we love it today? It is the pathway to righteousness because Jesus in us enables us to keep this law. And that is really good news. We hope that you'll grab a hold of that law and be blessed by keeping it by the grace of Jesus in you.